G'day everybody, my name is InZeRift and welcome to the final episode of Workshop Wednesdays with TheGamezoneboz. For this episode, we are doing an award show type thing where we choose maps that we've played during the Workshop Wednesday series and we give out some fun awards. I also thought I'd just put this quick disclaimer just mentioning that these awards are for fun and based on our play experience in the maps. Also, feel free to leave a comment letting me know which maps you would have given these awards to. I hope you all enjoy and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
So this episode is, of course, as I mentioned, the finale, so we're going to finish it off with some awards for the best levels and all sorts of things in the entire series and all 15 episodes we've done. So we're going to get straight into it. So our first award category is going to start off strong with the best overall level. Now, there's a few contenders that we had for this, but overall, we're going to jump straight into it and say that it was Obstacle Course number 1 by French Fries with a total of 32.5 points.
Obstacle Course number 1 by French Fries was one of those obstacle courses that kind of sticks in your head, especially since it's one of the original that came out, and I believe it was out before the workshop days in Rocket League, so it's kind of hard to forget. It cements in your mind as one of the original. And so that's one of the reasons, along with the fact that it was made well and it was pretty fun to go through. That's why I believe it's the best overall level.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm confident in giving this award, not only based on the fact that it has the highest amount of points from all of our Workshop Wednesdays, but it was a great level. It had a legacy behind it, as Nick said, from being one of the first pre-workshop supported levels. It came in as a mod that you'd add to the game. It was a little bit sketch, but you could play it and it was really well received. And of course, it just blew up on the workshop page, so I see why. It was a great level. It had great reasons to blow up like that. And overall, it was probably the best obstacle course I've ever done. Not only in this game, but in other games that are just, I don't know, have obstacle courses. But yeah, it definitely earned the 32.5 points that it has. And French Fries has definitely done some amazing creations in this game. And we had to make a hard decision with him, which you'll see coming very soon in the video. So our next category, moving straight on, is definitely a polar opposite of the best overall level. And kindly put, it's the biggest flop level category. So I'll let you award this one, Nick. Who does it go to?
For the biggest flop level, we have decided that it goes to RL Trainer Map by Goku.
Indeed. Now this one was a flop because not only was it the lowest scoring map of 15 points, but sure, it could have been quite funny, but oh my god, was it terrible. I know it was a work in progress, and I don't want to absolutely just hate on Goku, but I know it was a work on progress, but there was heaps of just bugs. You'd fall through the floor. You know, if you saw the video, you could do an insane amount of stuff that you weren't able to do and you shouldn't be able to do, and it was just so broken. So for that reason, it gets the biggest flop level. And what do you think, Nick?
Well, I kind of agree with you. It's strange because I know it was a work in progress, as you said, Corban, but it seemed like it was kind of an experimental map due to the fact that more than one person was working on it. For this specific map, it just didn't really make it. There was a lot of, bugs and glitches and all that kind of stuff. So for now, and our experience in it, it's deserving of the title.
Indeed. So now moving straight along, we have another one of our best categories right up there at the top, and that is the hardest level. So I'm going to award this one, and it was an easier decision, and that was Parkour Map number 1 by Drael. The only level in all of Workshop Wednesdays to get a 10 out of 10 for difficulty. So Nick, what do you have to say about the hardest level we ever played through?
Well, I think this one was one of those maps that is kind of, anyone who plays through it is going to have a little bit of a tough time going through it, whether they're at the best level, pro level, or even just, people that are only just starting aeriling. Like, this map is one of those ones that both Corban and I, we couldn't beat because we got to a certain point in it where it just actually seemed physically impossible to continue. I haven't had many other maps that have done that for me, and so this one deserves its title of the hardest level.
Agreed. There was a part where it came to these set of walls that just seemed impossible to pass through. The rest of the level was really cool, and I like some of the innovation there, but like the wall, it just seemed impossible. So me not being the best player in general and probably having a lower skill set for my level that I am, it was difficult for me, and the fact that Nick gave it a 10 out of 10, that kind of enforced that for me, considering I think he's amazing. So it was definitely hard for me, and I think it very well earned a fair and square mark of the hardest level. So next up, we've got a bit of a less serious one, a bit more of a funny one, but it's also our second repeat reward that already rewards another level. So this one is the biggest WTF or what the fuck moment.
For the biggest WTF moment in all of Workshop Wednesdays, RL Trainer Map by Goku is the one.
Oh, yes. Oh, the flashbacks. So as mentioned before, the biggest flop level was, of course, RL Trainer Map. So this now has 2 awards under its belt. Biggest WTF moment. Well, definitely falling through the floor, the ball going through the floor, hitting this block that would get stuck to your car. It was just all over the place. We weren't annoyed at the level. In fact, we would just keep laughing at how ridiculous it was. It was just all the time, what the hell's happening? So I think this one's fair and square in that reward. Nick, what do you have to say about it?
I agree. I think one of the biggest things for me was that weird block that got attached to our car. I'm not entirely sure what was going on with that, whether that was some kind of, whether that was put there on purpose, whether it was an accident. I don't know how it could just attach to our car like that. I don't know, but all I can tell you is that was that moment when I found that out was it has to be the biggest WTF moment in all of Workshop Wednesdays, because I had no idea what was going on. That's why this one gains that award.
So next up, we're coming into the second half of the award show. We have the award for the best graphics of any level in Workshop Wednesdays. So for this one, Speed Jump 2 by DMC easily took this one with an 8 out of 8 for graphics, which is the highest, simply because of its amazing textures. Nick, what do you have to say about this?
Well, it seems as though this map in particular by DMC was one of those ones that felt like there was a little bit more to it than just creating the level and uploading it to the workshop. I feel like DMC took the extra time to either create the textures or do however he made them. It just seemed like more thought went into it, regardless of how good or bad the overall level was. So yeah, that's why I think this one deserves the best graphics.
Agreed, and I feel like this was a work of love by DMC simply because of the textures in it. It wasn't the boring blue and grey checkered pattern that some French fries levels had, and it seemed like a bit of a, why wouldn't it have textures? But this one changed it up a lot, and it actually added more than you might first think to the level in terms of just how fun it was, and it just brightened it up. It just made it so much better. So this one easily takes out the Best Graphics Award, and I think that's something that goes beyond just building a difficult level or building an interesting level, but actually adding extra touches to it that aren't necessary, but add a lot more than people would think. So it definitely takes this award nicely. Now next up is a bit of a touchy award for us, and it's one that probably you wouldn't think we would have thought of or would award to anything, but it seemed applicable because of one standout level. So this is the most innovative level award. Now, innovation, of course, should be a familiar thing to you. In terms of Rocket League Workshop Wednesdays, it'd be a level that's just done something to stand out above all the rest, above all the other 15 levels. And for us, that was parkour map number 3, Into the Dark by Drael, with the dark theme and lights on your car. Now, of course, it's still a parkour map, that's not the innovation, but the innovation came with, of course, the dark theme and the headlights on the top and bottom of your car and how you had to use them to get through that level. I mean, would you agree with me on that one, Nick?
Oh yeah, definitely. This one, as you said, Corbett, it's not really about the fact that it's another parkour map that's coming into Workshop Wednesdays, but it's the fact that the way it was done was different and something that I hadn't seen at all. So I think that the fact that you have to use your car, use the lights on your car to get through a level that's almost entirely pitch black means that it brings something more to the table, so you don't have to just, it's not one of those levels that you go in and it's like, I know exactly what I'm doing this, I know where to go, let's do it. Like it's one of those ones where you get in and you're unsure. It's kind of a new experience that you've never had before, and so that's the reason that I believe it deserved this award.
So next up, we're nearing the end of our show, but the best awards are still to come. We have this award, Best Creator. Now, that was a touchy one because to us, it came down to 3 key nominees, which was French Fries, DMC, and Drayel. And in the end, Drayel took this one. Now, he's done some amazing levels. 2 of his levels made it onto this, the hardest level and the most innovative level, and I think the most innovative level is what helped push him over the line for Best Creator. He was consistent with 3 parkour maps that were different every single time. It wasn't the parkour aspect of it that changed. Sure, I mean the actual obstacles changed, but the parkour was still there. But it was the fact that the second level was moving and the third was in the dark. So I think the fact that he mixed it up that much and had this consistent amount of levels that always amazed us every single time is what helped him grab Best Creator. So, I mean, would you agree with me on that one as well, Nick?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's more the fact that because he did parkour maps the entire way along, but it seemed as though he was always trying to bring something new to the table. He kind of did things like making things move, making things all dark. Like he kind of built upon each edition of his parkour map. So that's one of the reasons I believe that he deserves the Best Creator award.
And finally, we've come to our final category. It's not amazing as the first one, but it's still a really important one, and that is the best build quality for a level. Now, it's not like as big as best overall level, but it is important to the overall playability of the level, and it really, really counts towards it, because there have been some levels with atrocious build quality that you just can't play, and if they had good build quality, it'd be great. So, for this one, Speed Jump Rings by DMC takes this one away with an 8.5 for build quality. So what would you say about this, Nick?
Speed Jump Rings by DMC is one of those ones that I believe was one of those, it was kind of a quick-ish one. It wasn't entirely too difficult. It wasn't too long of a level, but just as you go through it, you can tell that the extra detail has been taken to bump up that build quality from being mediocre to being great. And one of the examples I want to give is the fact that when you're going through the hoops and the rings and stuff, you'd think that it'd be easy to just skip them all and go straight to the end, but DMC has done a great job in ensuring the fact that there is invisible walls around all of the rings so that it doesn't look like there's something in the way, but there's something there. So that's kind of a testament to his build quality and how he can add things to his map that can have an effect on the player without them really knowing it.
Yeah, definitely. I'd have to agree. There were a lot of those walls that really contributed to the overall just fluidness and consistency of the build quality there, because that was our probably main concern was, hold on, like, can you get around these? But no, there was always a system in place to make sure it worked. It just flowed well, and overall definitely earned the title of the best build quality. Well guys, that wraps up the awards show for Workshop Wednesday's awards. So, going over all the categories again, we have best overall level, which is obstacle course number 1 by French Fries. The biggest flop level was RL Trainer Map by Goku. The hardest level was parkour map number 1 by Drayel. The biggest WTF moment was RL Trainer Map by Goku. The best graphics was Speed Jump 2 by DMC. The most innovative level was parkour map number 3 Into the Dark by Drayel. The best creator was Drayel, and the best build quality was Speed Jump Rings by DMC. So, that wraps it up for this award show, and that wraps it up for Workshop Wednesdays as a whole. Thank you very much, Nick, for joining me through this journey that started on January 31st, 2017.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that's crazy to think back to how long this has lasted, and of course there's been some delays, and it's taken us a while to get out 15 episodes, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that, and it always seemed like something people would, people have mentioned to me as like, oh, is Workshop Wednesdays coming out this week? Whether it be a legitimate question or a piss take, it'd be something remembered by like viewers, more so than Rocket League itself in a way. So I feel like it was great to have this series to build upon my channel's main starting game, and just make it so much fun. And to believe it started with jet car stunts on my laptop when I had that is nuts. And to see how it evolved and how we evolved throughout Rocket League is great. And it's a bit tearful to be saying goodbye to such a trustworthy series, and one that I could always be like, oh hey, the time for Workshop Wednesdays this week. But all good things come to an end, and I'm sure there will be something in the future that could come back as a series like this. But who knows? Who knows?
I sincerely hope you all enjoyed this series of Workshop Wednesdays with TheGamezoneboz. I just want to give a big thanks to him and say it was an amazingly cool series we worked together on. And I also want to say thank you to all of you for being here and watching us explore the amazing world of Rocket League Workshop content. I hope you all enjoyed this series, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye bye!